Let's do another recap. Make sure everybody's on the same page. So last couple of days, if you weren't here, we've been covering all the specialty programs. This is the list of every specialty program that you will probably run into. So I just want to do a quick recap, make sure everybody understands how this stuff works. All right, so free nights. How does a free night program work?
Nights are free, but during the day it's double.
Perfect. Now, typically on the bill, you can pretty quickly identify that it's a free night program. How would you do that? How would you identify if it's free nights? So you're looking for something specific. There's a few different answers here, but what would it be? What are we looking for?
Normally, it'll say on the bill on the plan of the free nights, but also at the same time, there will be a night, the night's discount that's on there, and it takes off whatever.
Yep. So in the plan name, it'll have typically the word free nights in the plan name. But next to the energy charges, you'll see where you've got the free night credit next to where it was charged. So there's always going to be the two line items. In most specialty plan cases, there will always be two line items. And the first line item is what they were charged, assuming they weren't on that plan. And the second line item shows the actual discount, and it'll be reported as CR, which stands for credit. So free nights, got it. How about free weekends?
Weekends are free and the rest of the week.
Perfect. Very simple. So same answer for free nights as it would be for free weekends. How do we find or determine that they're on a free weekend plan? Well, it's in the plan name. You'll see the line items, you'll see the credit, you'll see the charges. Free nights, free weekends are plans that most of these big companies will offer. And again, it's helpful to know which companies are in what range. So let's say a customer were to go and sign up at Sam's Club. Jeff, what company will they likely sign up with? Just Energy. So that's helpful to know. If you've got a customer that you run into that just switched to Just Energy, one of your very first questions should be, where did you sign up or how did you sign up? There's three different ways that a customer can sign up with Just Energy that we'll typically deal with. They'll have either signed up at the door, or they'll have signed up at Sam's Club, or they'll have signed up a different way, which could be online or by calling, whatever. But if you identify that they've signed up at Sam's Club, again, what program did they sign up with? Free nights. So if you identify, oh, you have Just Energy, cool, how did you get Just Energy? Oh, I did it at Sam's Club. Perfect, so they gave you the free night plan. You volunteer that information before they tell you. When you have information that they didn't expect you to have, your credibility goes up. And when your credibility goes up, the trust factor goes up. And when you have credibility and you have trust, let's say you can't find common ground, you don't really have time to build rapport, well, that's a less important factor because you need one of those. You need some rapport, or you need some credibility, or you need some trust. Okay, customers aren't going to trust you unless you prove that you are trustworthy. Well, how do you do that? Build rapport, that leads to trust, or build up some credibility, again, that leads to trust. So really, ultimately, what you're trying to do is you're trying to get the customer to trust you. There's two different ways to do that: rapport, common ground, or credibility. And the credibility factor is you having this information and volunteering it before they give you the answers. So if you already know that they have Just Energy, or let's say you find that out, and you're able to pinpoint which plan they have based on where they signed up, again, that's a big factor, and you're getting some wins pretty early on. So free nights, Sam's Club, Just Energy. What if they did the door-to-door plan? What program do you guys think that they signed up with? So I have an EFL that we're going to cover after we do a recap on this, and that's actually the Just Energy door-to-door plan. I'll upload it on the main channel. So if you identify that a customer signed up with Just Energy at the door, you'll have their plan without needing to ask for their plan, because all their door-to-door guys basically do the same thing as us. They have a few different options, but they all push one plan, and the one plan they push, I have the EFL for because I signed up a customer that signed up with Just Energy last week. So free nights, free weekends. Free weekends, again, we don't run into too often, but we just covered that one. Again, we're just going to do the same meeting we did yesterday. I just want to make sure that we're all on the same page, because this could be the difference between you guys averaging what you're currently averaging and maybe getting like a 30, 40, 50% bump in numbers. So summer pass, how does the summer pass work, Sonia?
So in the summertime, they get a discount, and the rest of the year, obviously charge more.
So if they get a discount for, there you go, double, that's what I'm looking for. So when you guys can use things like longer, shorter, higher, lower, double, triple, use those. That's better than being more specific, because the more specific you get, the more specific you need to continue to be. So I like to try to avoid the specifics unless they're all in my favor, but even that can confuse some people sometimes. So Summer Pass, they get a discount for 4 months. What are the 4 months that they get the discount for? Perfect. So if they sign up in September, they'll get the discount for September. And then if they're on a 1-year plan, next year, they'll only get the discount for June, July, and August. So we covered that as well. There are 2 companies, actually 3 companies, that offer the Summer Pass program, also known as Summer Break. Ambit is one. Does that help you? TXU, you cheated because they gave you the answer. You're thinking about that pie. So Ambit, TXU, and there's one more that we see recently. Direct, okay, Direct actually, so there's 4, and then Just Energy is another one. They've got that plan on their website. So TXU and Ambit are the ones you're going to see the most with the summer plan, and not coincidentally, they are owned by the same parent company. What's the parent company's name? Vistra. You're never going to see Vistra on a bill, but Vistra owns a few different companies, TXU and Ambit being the 2 that we run into the most. So Live Your Free. Live Your Free is only offered by TXU, and we covered this the last 2 days. So this is basically 3 days in a row we've done these meetings. So we won't do another one like this tomorrow, but I feel more confident after having completed today that we're all on the same page with these specialty programs. All right, so Live Your Free. How does it work, Langham?
You can either get days, nights, or weekends for free. The more you use is where you get the discount, but you pay more when you're not getting discount.
Perfect. So there's 3 options, only offered by TXU. We're running into this plan a little bit more often. They either get free days, free weekends, or free nights. They don't get all 3. Some customers are likely under the impression that they will get all 3. Some people have no idea how the plan even works. So whichever one they use the best is the one they get. Okay, but it doesn't matter which specialty plan that's offered within that specialty plan. When it's not being used correctly, they will always pay more per kilowatt. There is one way to determine by looking at this one number every single month if they're using their plan correctly or not. What's that price called? Average. So if you want to be 100% certain that they're using this plan correctly, not forever, but just for one bill, just take a look at their average. So Season Pass, only offered by TXU. Chris, how does it work?
So the first 3 months of the year, it's discounted, and then the next 3 months it's doubled. Then next 3 months it's discounted, then after that it's doubled.
Close. But it's not the first 3 months. And it's not technically the first to anything. It's the seasons.
Summer and winter.
Yep, summer and winter. December, January, February, winter, they get a discount. And then for spring, it doubles. Fall, summer, skipping seasons here. Summer, they get a discount. It's cut in half. And then fall, it doubles. So a Season Pass program, the easiest explanation is for half the year they get a discount, for the other half they pay double. But their discounted price is very close to our price. What we're running into is a Season Pass discount is around 10 cents. And then it's 20 cents in the off season, whereas we're at 11 cents all year round. So it helps to know how these plans work, what months for the summer, for the season, basically just in general, how the plans work specifically, but you need a complicated understanding of it and a simple explanation of it. That's a really good way to put that, because you all need to understand the complicated version of the plan, but you need to understand it in a way where you can simplify it when you explain it. Some of you are selling when you should be explaining. So you want to make sure that when you're in the hook stage and you're identifying the plan, explaining to me how it works, explaining to me how it works, you're not selling, you're explaining, right? Okay, again, I don't want to go into the same meeting as yesterday. I just want to finish our recap. So bill credit plan, we covered that. There are 3 companies that offer this plan that we'll run into. Aaron, what's one of the companies we will see?
4Change.
4Change is one. Jeff, what's another? Gexa is another. Gexa's sister company, which is also the 3rd company that offers the bill credit plan, is called what? Frontier. So remember, Frontier and Gexa, they're basically the same company. The bills will look the same. The plans will look pretty much the same. The pricing will be pretty similar. Gexa, Frontier, if you understand one, you understand both. Just Energy, Terra, and Amigo are all basically the same company. They're all owned by Just Energy. So if you understand a Just Energy bill, you now understand Just Energy, Terra, and Amigo. So you can knock out a couple birds with one stone. But you won't know that if you don't know who is affiliated with who. Alexis, give me an example of a bill credit program that we'll run into.
Like, there will be one possibly on, they have to hit 800 kilowatts for them to get a bill credit usage, a bill credit, on their bill, but if they don't hit it, they pay higher.
So to be more specific, they're going to pay high no matter what. So in a bill credit program, their energy charge is always going to be super expensive. Call it double, sometimes 2.5, 3 times the price. And the only way they get the credit every single month is if they hit a usage tier. There are 3 usage tiers that these companies will typically offer, one of them being 800. What's another one that we'll run into? 1,000. And do you remember from the meeting yesterday what the third one could be? 1,200. I'm picking on some of the new guys just to see where everybody's at with it. So if you see a 4 change bill, they only use 500 kilowatts and they're paying 19 cents a kilowatt, you may not know what that threshold is. Okay, all you see is, oh, you're being fucked, right? But then they may say, well, I get $100 every single month. So you need to be prepared whenever you see a really, really high price. There's one question you want to ask yourself. Why? Why am I looking at 29 cents a kilowatt? Why is it so expensive? See, you guys are the professional, right? You're the energy advisor. So when you look at a bill, you need to understand the complicated version, but then explain it in a way that's really, really simple. So if a customer uses the information that you should have known against you, you may lose that deal because you weren't prepared for that question or that objection. You lose credibility as easily as you gain credibility. So you could be spot on in the beginning, but then you get that bill and you really kind of don't know what you're talking about, and you've lost all the credibility you work so hard to gain. So when you deal with a bill credit plan, slow down and try to make sure you understand the why. Why is my price so high? How does this work? How does that work? You need to understand it before you can explain it. So just again, as a reminder, 800 kilowatts, 1,000 kilowatts, and 1,200 kilowatts. Those are typically the thresholds. Flat bill plan. Now we're getting into the stuff that we basically just covered and explained yesterday. Chris, how does a flat bill plan work? Very brief explanation.
It's based on your usage for a year, and so they give you a flat amount. That flat amount could be $149.
Perfect. So if I use $100 worth of electric, I'm still paying $140 or $149. Same example as yesterday. If I use $200 worth of electric, I'm still paying that flat bill amount. So those plans are typically offered by Just Energy. There are a few other companies I'm sure that offer it, but a flat bill literally means the bill is flat. And they'll either save money or they won't, and there's no true up at the end of the year. If they overpaid by $1,000 at the end of the year, there's no true up. They don't get that money back. If they saved $1,000 by the end of the year, again, they don't have to pay that at the end of the year. That's the risk with a flat bill. And it is based on and pre-evaluated by their usage. So these companies that offer it, they're going to keep it about what they anticipate your bill being anyway. So flat bill program, we covered it yesterday. I'm about to post a video for you guys explaining the bill credit plan, the flat bill plan, the tier plan, and the cashback plan. It'll be 4 different videos, but these are broken up in just those specific programs, and it'll all be labeled so you guys can kind of go search for it. So tier plan, almost done. Danny, how does the tier plan work?
Up to a certain amount of kilowatts, you'll be paying a different price. Once you pass that certain amount, past that threshold, the price will change.
Perfect. Yep. So there's only ever really 2 tiers or 3 tiers. It's rare that you'll see, there's only one company that I know of that does 4 tiers, but you're not going to see 5 or 6 or 7. And if it's just one, it's not tiered. It's just a typical fixed rate. TXU and Ambit are the ones we see the most. And TXU, you will run into tier programs, I bet, and most people won't realize or identify that it's a tiered program. So if you see, and it works the same way, if you see a bill and they're paying 20 cents, find out why it's so high. But it works the other way. If you see a TXU bill and they're at 7 cents, that doesn't mean they may just be at 7. So find out, why is this so cheap? Why is this rate so good? It's possible it's so good because they're on a tier program paying 7 cents up to 800 kilowatts, and then when they pass 800, they're at 20 cents. Now, you may try to close on the 7 without realizing that you could loop in the 20 cents a kilowatt. So if you don't know it's tiered, if you don't know it's a bill credit program, if you don't acknowledge or identify its season pass, you may close on the wrong problem. In turn, you'll lose that deal because they have information you don't have. So it's really, really important that when you identify a specialty program, keep it simple, follow the structure. Hey, you have this is how it works. Boom, boom, boom. Then tell me the problem. So the EFL tells you everything you need to know, the electricity facts label. If you absolutely need the information, it is emailed to every single customer, and in some companies on their app or online account, you can access it that way. So a tiered plan, just to repeat, they're paying a certain rate per kilowatt up to a certain amount of usage. So call it 10 cents for the first 500. And then in scenarios where, again, it's tiered, TXU or Ambit, 500 to 1,000 is 15 cents. And then maybe 1,000 plus drops back down to 8 cents. You don't know the tiers if they don't hit the threshold. So all that means, going back to what I said a minute ago, if you see a bill and it's a really good price, you won't know that there's a bad price behind that usage tier if they don't hit it. So if you need leverage, ask for the EFL. The EFL will break down all the tiers. Okay, 2 more, cash back. There's only one company that I'm aware of that offers the cash back. Who is it? TXU. TXU. You weren't here yesterday when we broke this down. TXU's cashback program is very simple. They'll offer you 3% back on a specific portion of your electric bill. What's that portion called? There's two, supply, which also known as the REP charges. So the supply section, the REP charges, there's two prices, there's two things happening there. Usage times cost. Remember I drew that on the board, or I wrote it on the board? So the customer's got the usage, the REP's got the price. So keep in mind, and this is something I used to explain in other states, that there's two parts to the bill, supply and delivery. The supply has two sections, usage and cost. And I'll do this with customers sometimes. Your usage fluctuates and your cost fluctuates. So obviously your bill is going to go up and down. So all we do is we freeze the cost. So the only thing that's going up and down is your usage. That exact analogy or explanation of their supply section is how I explain to customers sometimes. When you're on a variable rate, I'm doing this at the door. So cash back is 3% cash back on the supply section only annually. So if they're overcharged by $1,000, then they only get 3% of whatever it is that supply section was. But remember, some customers want that gift card at the end of the year. They live for it. And they'll overpay in order to get it. So you have to make sure you explain how that program works. Last one, and then we'll do the EFL, then we'll go. Ultimate Perks. Jeff, how does the Ultimate Perks program work? Yep, so offered by Ambit.
Is it you get so you get a discount in the summer and then 7 or 8 days free? No.
No. So they basically get rewards for like points or whatever that they can use to get stuff.
So Ultimate Perks, they get rewards. They can use it online to redeem for cool stuff. They'll pay more per kilowatt, just like TXU's cash back. They'll pay more per kilowatt to get the cash back. Okay, but it doesn't work. It doesn't make sense. A lot of people, if you're running into a scenario where the guy or the girl is 50, 60, 70 years old, Ambit Perks, it doesn't make any sense. Yeah. They probably don't know they're on that program. Now, isn't it a lot easier, going back to yesterday, to tell a customer why their prices are so high and that they're on the wrong program and then provide the solution than to just simply say, oh, you're paying too much? Because you're paying too much isn't enough in some cases. It makes more sense to say you're paying too much because you're on a program that you won't use, you didn't even know you were on it. So because of that, your prices are too high, I'll redo it, lower it down, blah, blah, blah. So providing the customer with the reason why is going to help you loop in what you're doing, why you're there, and just the overall sense of urgency. So remember, when you tell me the problem, tell me why it's a problem. Well, there's your why right there. You got 8 or 9 different reasons. So identify the plan they're on, tell me what's wrong with it, tell me how it works, tell me why it's bad. And that, I think, might help you guys.